Welcome back, Kotter. I promise this will be better than cable TV. Ever so often one guy or another sees fit to travel through a wormhole from another universe to ours and confuse the hell out of some of us. They are like the guys who drive women to lesbianism. Then it takes me to get him back. I'm dead serious. Like this guy yesterday I watched on CNN who claimed he was a professor at Harvard. I'm not going to embarrass him and tell you his name. What he said got me upset. He said that Obama did so pretty much everything wrong with his stimulus plan. I in turn think that the government has an obligation to act when the fate of millions and millions of people is at stake. More important, he said that to increase jobs, the government has only two options. Either hire more employees or cut taxes. I tell you, that statement could drive even me to lesbianism. But let's stay cool and look at some government option I can come up with. I presented yesterday a chart that showed that the money the government gets is used, in part at least, to pay for public servants. On a side note, according to a report I received, 2/3 of the monetary flow representing the economy is provided by consumers. I forgot who gave me that figure and I haven't checked it out, so be careful using it, but it sounds about right. Meaning that the government's contribution via its employees' payroll is significant, but it is not the only way the government participates in the monetary flow. I mean, the issue is whether or not a particular government action does or does not contribute to the monetary flow. Let's look at some other channels. Let's take the SBA, the Small Business Administration, which provides and/or guarantees loans to small businesses. Does that contribute to the monetary flow? Of course it does. It does so by enabling the purchase of goods and the increase of employment. Next, let's look at building, replacing, repairing or improving the infrastructure, including bridge repairs. Does the government do it itself? Nope. Instead, it gives an order to the highest bidder, typically a private construction company which buys material, leases equipment, hires workers and pays taxes, all of which contributes to the monetary flow. Let's look at our national security being threatened by our dependency on mostly hostile foreign oil suppliers, in addition to the enormous outflow of billions of dollars to foreign countries. It is not the government that engages in either research or the development of alternative domestic energy. Rather, the government contracts again with private companies to do the job. Does that contribute to the monetary flow? Of course it does. I remember some years ago, the government published a daily report about contracts available for bidding, called the Commerce Business Daily. It had pages and pages full of contract opportunities. Does contracting a job or the purchase of products contribute to the monetary flow? You said it, of course. By now you realize that the Harvard guy just came from Vega, according to the Men in Black movie, a star near Orion's belt. Or more precisely, near the Cat's Eye Nebula. But wait, there is more. What about investing in education or educational facilities? Let's say student loans. Does that contribute to the monetary flow? What about operating the veterans' hospitals? Don't underestimate this. There are millions and millions of dollars. And that is not restricted to physicians or nurses. Think of medication. I love it Proving a Harvard professor wrong is one of the few enjoyable things left for me, almost as good as sex. And don't tell me this is speculation. The effect government action has on the monetary flow is a matter of demonstrated logic. As I said yesterday, Paul Krugman, the Princeton professor, is right. If Obama did anything wrong, he didn't go far enough. But then that may have been strategy.
The back of my envelope says we need $600 billion next year alone. So I'm actually worried that this plan may be too small. I mean, this is an enormous crisis. You got to hit it with an enormous stimulus to buck the economy up. I'm still worrying that they're going to be a little bit short, because you just have to put all your notions of what is prudent aside. Being cautious is actually a very foolish thing right now.
Indeed. I believe that the cost of fixing the mess of the last 8 years will cost above $1.5 trillion, give or take a couple of $100 billion. Nothing to get excited about. As the fortune cookie says, if there is poop, pick it up. And boy, did this administration leave us some poop to pick up. The December unemployment rate went up to 7.2%. with more than 500,000 layoffs. Coming to think of, does picking up Bush's poop somehow enter into the monetary flow? Okay now, did I make sense? Did I prove that the government has more than two options? That is more than just hiring people or giving tax breaks? No offense, please, but I always thought the difference between a teacher and a professor is the latter has an IQ above, let's say, 80 and does some earnest research like Googling Neanderthal, economy and monetary flow. Or at least go to Wikipedia from time to time. I'm sure by now you have been missing my take on the question whether the war contributes to the economy. The reason I have not addressed this issue so far is that nothing seems to fit or even make sense, other than that the Iraq war has predominantly caused the accumulation of the largest national debt ever. In fact, according to a report on MSNBC, I believe, over the last 8 years we have accumulated more national debt than during the entire history of this nation combined. Remember now, the same people who are against implementation of the stimulus plan, on October 11, 2002, voted very much for passing the joint resolution to authorize the use of United States armed forces against Iraq, the very war that caused our record national debt. Here are some: McConnell, Shelby, Sessions, Specter, Brownback, etc., who lost all credibility. If that does not convince you, look at this list of the ye have it and think about the soldiers who died for a fraud. Click on pause if you need to look at it longer. Something else. The more I look into this, the more fascinating it gets. That includes not only the fraudulent use of CIA information. Oh, did I ever tell you I had the privilege of managing a hardware design project for the CIA? I think I proved my allegiance. Anyway, it also includes the cover-up of the real number of war-related casualties. Do you get it? This damn thing is a fraud from the beginning to the end. I think I will do a piece on this, but I need to do some more research. Take care, my friends, and have a nice weekend.